Two, and
what up, combatants, and welcome to the 1v1 show. It's your boy Geo Huey Flow, welcoming you to the place all things niche, nerd, and pop culture. We have a dope show for you today. We're going to talk about Studio Ghibli having a theme park. We're going to talk about Marvel. We're going to talk about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reboot. And then we're also going to debate, is there too many superhero movies going on right now? Is superheroes flooding the market? Now, as always, introduce, not today, not my co-host, but the man behind the boards, Hyphy Soul, a.k.a. Mikey.
hey, what's up, everyone? If you're new to the 1v1 show and what we do here, how we conduct the show is by starting off with 10 topics from the news of this week regarding the newest Pokemon game, Studio Ghibli, and so much more, and like EA games and all that stuff. And each topic will have a timer of 5 minutes, with the last two topics just being a little bit longer, maybe 7 to 10 minutes. And after that, they will be discussing their top 5 fight scenes in movies and TVs and anime and whatnot. And for this week, hey, thank you for the follow, Blaze, Justin, and also Alex from earlier. And we don't end there. We also have we're going to finish off the episode with a debate, which will be a 1v1 showdown where our guest host, Angio, will have take sides on a debate. And speaking of the guest host, that is Blue Batasai, aka Ray. What's up, Ray? Yo.
What's going on today? How you guys doing today?
We're chilling, dog. We're chilling, doing good.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
For sure.
And I'm ready.
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
And
All right.
wait, and if you like what we're doing here, please give us a follow on our socials to the left of the screen on IG, Twitter, and you can support us on Patreon. And we have 3 tiers, where $3 will get you a roll credit at the end of the show, and $5 will let you submit any topic that you want that you want us to talk about, and as long as it's appropriate. And for $10, you can sponsor us by plugging anything you want. It could be your socials, your Etsy profile, or something, anything like that. And so with that said, let's get on with the show. Boom. So how are you guys doing this week? I mean, we already did that, but
I'm doing good, man. I'm anticipating tomorrow. Like we'll see how football goes for me. I might be. I told I told my students at my job that if the Niners lose, they have to write a 2-page essay on why LA sucks.
Well, if things go the way that Gio is saying, where his students have to make that essay, I will be extremely happy. I am 100% LA everything, except for the Chargers and Clippers.
are you allowed to do that?
They don't even count. They're like San Diego teams.
Right? For sure.
All right, so let's get the show started with the first subtopic of the day, and that is starting with Kanye West. Gio, what is happening with Kanye West?
All right, for sure. So the it's not Kanye anymore, Mikey. It's Ye.
Oh, yeah,
but
my
the
bad.
artist formerly known as Kanye West, almost has his next album ready, and it's a sequel to Donda. So basically, Kanye put out a post saying that Donda 2 is going to release on February 22nd, 2022. So of course he's going to make it a big palindrome. It's 2/22/22 release date because it's a nice big fancy release date, and we know that Kanye is kind of about like the flash and the pizzazz. And he showed off a picture of basically his Chicago childhood home on fire, and saying that Future will executive produce Donda 2. So, we saw the album listening party for Donda. It was also a big spectacle where he replicated his childhood home, and he brought out, controversial musicians, Marilyn Manson and DaBaby. And then just, earlier than we thought, we're going to get Donda 2, which we'll see. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of Donda 1. What about you, Ray? Did you listen to Donda?
I there's nothing memorable in my opinion about that album. I know there people are gonna hate me for that. You got some Ye fans that are heavy Ye fans, but there wasn't that one banger that I just kind of like wanted to repeat on my way to work or anything like that.
Yeah, same. I mean, honestly, to be honest, and I know me and Mikey have talked about this on the show before, but I haven't really loved a Kanye album since My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and to me, he's put out the last couple of albums that he put out have been mid to trash, in just my opinion. I think Yeezus was just not it for me. I maybe I have to re-listen to it, but it was just there was only one song on that album that I really didn't care for. But yeah, it was definitely just not that great.
No, I have to agree with you. Also, are we sure he's gonna release it when he said he's gonna release it? I mean, he is saying like, "Oh, I'm off the phone. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm gonna make sure that this gets released." But how much faith do you have in that?
I mean, really, because if you think about it, there have been at least 3 albums that Kanye said he was going to release that never came out. Like, whatever happened to back in the day, whatever happened to A Good Ass Job.
Right.
Like, that was supposed to be the last one of his, like, he put out College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation, and the last one was supposed to be A Good Ass Job. We never got A Good Ass Job. Supposedly, that was going to be a collaboration album with Chance the Rapper, but that's never going to happen. Whatever happened to Child Rebel Soldiers? Do you remember that?
Remember he was talking about it. Yeah,
it was going to be him, Pharrell, and who was it? Lupe Fiasco. That never came out. Whatever happened to Yandi? Never came out. He said he was going to put out an album called TurboGrafx 16 after a video game console. Never really happened. So yeah, I'm not buying it on this one, and it's and the future being executive producer, like that's got to be some like publicity move because of his divorce with Kim Kardashian.
Definitely, I agree with that too. You know, he has this crazy. Isn't he seeing somebody now? Like, there's these whole reports about him and somebody else, and then she's only in it for the money or something like that. And it's like,
Oh man, I try not to keep up with these like celebrity gossips, even though it's like constantly in our faces about
yeah,
like, oh, celebrity this, celebrity that. But you know, whatever. It's all about the music, and like I said, Kanye has been on a downward trajectory for a while. Not only that, but like the statements that he makes is just super head ass. So
they're just way
yeah,
out there. They're just way out there.
yeah, it really is. But yeah, nah, I'm kind of over the whole thing. Like, just for me, it's like put out the album, like I'll stream it, I'll listen to it, and we'll see. I mean, I'll see if I like it. I'll give it a fair shot. I mean, I try to give most artists a fair shot.
So
Especially
my
Kanye, who put out
my
3 of my
fear
favorite albums.
my fear is that like I have so much hope that he's gonna bring something, and I'm just gonna be let down, and I'm kind of afraid of that. It's gonna release. I am going to give it a listen, just like the last album, and I am hoping he does go against what I think is gonna happen. That would be amazing. But
Yeah.
I have hope, but at the same time I don't.
Don't get your hopes up, man.
I'm trying to, like,
Don't get your hopes up, dog.
and in high
Yeah,
school, that's what I used to bang all the time, Kanye, but it's
yeah.
not the same anymore.
Yeah, for sure. Anyways, I mean, I see we got a lot of people talking trash in the chat right now.
I'm trying to moderate it.
I know. I'm looking over and it's just a lot of just trash talking, which normally I'd be a part of that, but I mean, I know who these people are. Milo, it's all good, dog. Don't worry about it. Like, all right, this is what I tell people, right? We got a lot of haters out there, and where I come from, we refer to those people as jive turkeys. So we don't let the jive turkeys get to you. So it's all good. We just let them be, and we move on. And speaking
That's
of moving
right.
on, and speaking of fighting,
Oh, those
um,
fighting words.
speaking of
Let's talk
not
about.
fighting, let's talk about our next topic, which is Fight Club. What's going on with Fight Club?
Yeah, it's been over a decade, and we're still talking about Fight Club, even though
Right?
we're breaking the first
Jesus.
rule. That's the first rule. Don't talk about it.
3 rules.
Hey, so you know, people are really, really mad about it being streamed in China because, well, they changed it a little bit. So instead of the chaos, the authorities win. So the streaming platform in China, they changed it in a way where the authorities win, and it destroys a whole iconic ending that we originally had. Uh, the It ends in a way where it leaves a text saying, through the clue provided by Tyler, the police rapidly figured out the whole plan and arrested all criminals, successfully preventing the bomb from exploding. So apparently, Tyler goes to jail. He goes on trial, not jail, excuse me, and he gets sent to a lunatic asylum. They called it a lunatic asylum. He receives psychological treatment, and then he gets discharged from the hospital. What do you think about that? What do you think about that, Gio?
I mean, it's China, dog. Like they censor everything to hell. Like of course they're going to change stuff like this. I mean, it's not like the first time that they've done stuff like that. Even like if you look at the old Star Wars, not old, the new Star Wars posters for the new trilogy, like you notice that why is Finn in the background? Why they got to put the black man who was originally in the front of the poster? They put him to like a little corner. It's all this stuff that China does, and I'm not surprised about it. But Disney wasn't going to say anything because they know that China and Tencent is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
It is a
Do
lot
you
of
think
money.
do you think there's a specific reason why they wanted the authorities to win?
Because they don't want people to get any crazy ideas that the whatchamacallit, the rebel what's the word I'm looking for? That rebellious acts can occur within a society. The
That's
Chinese
good.
probably want to believe that, you
I
know.
wanted you to say that because I don't want China going after me, you know.
For
but
sure.
but there are some people that are really mad about it. They're going to Tencent's their page and saying this is ridiculous, and they're saying it's a pillar of shame in cinematic history. So I do got a question for you. Do you believe that these are Chinese fans saying how mad they are, or do you believe this is Americans?
Well, if it's Chinese fans, I mean, if it's on the 10 cent streaming app, then it has to be Chinese fans. His name
Yeah.
was Robert Paulson. God damn it.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. But one more interesting fact about it though, the actual author actually said that in a way, the way the Chinese ended it was kind of closer to the way the book ended it. And with the author saying that, do you think that we should be mad or should we separate the book and the movie?
I don't think people should be mad at all. I think because it's China, we should just suspect that that's going to happen. We should already expect it. I mean, if it wasn't the Chinese doing it, if it was another, because the Chinese are like a big boogeyman according in like most minds of Americans.
Oh yeah, yeah. China and
But
Russia.
if it was another country doing this, who would really care? No one.
And I'm glad you brought that up because if you listen to more of his like interviews and stuff, what he talks about, he says China isn't the only country that changes it. It's different in different countries depending on where you go. So yeah, this outrage is probably mostly about it being in China, not so much about the way they changed it.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's definitely just kind of just outrage for outrage. But I think it's cool how the author basically said that it's kind of like more like the book, because in the book the same thing happens where he does get taken to like a mental health facility, and he's in
Yeah.
there and he's getting pretty much carried by two like workers there who are also a part of Project Mayhem, and they're like, oh, we're ready for your next orders. And so Tyler is pretty much trapped. He's pretty much trapped there, and just like, because people still won't believe that he is the leader, that he's going to come back and create all this mayhem. It's very much, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a very much like trapped in your own worst nightmare scenario. So I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I'm not too mad at this ending, because even though for a movie it wouldn't be as visually spectacular, I thought it was pretty good.
I honestly think they could have added some kind of visual instead of text though, to be honest with you. But I mean,
Yeah,
how do you do that with a 2 decade-year-old video?
yeah.
Things
But how
get
are you
old.
how are you gonna do that? How are you gonna get Edward Norton to China?
Right.
That's the
Right.
question.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. All right. Let's move on to the next topic. Guillermo del Toro. How many Guillermo del Toro movies have you seen, Ray?
I you know, looking it up, I was like, "Oh, I did see that. I did see that." Just a few, not a lot, but a few. And the ones that I have seen, I will say yes. Yes,
Yeah,
we need.
for sure. I'm like a big fan of the Hellboy movies. Both one and two to me are fantastic. Some of my favorite films. I did watch Pan's Labyrinth, which was also really really good. I haven't seen The Orphanage yet. I did want to watch that.
Yeah,
Or
I
is it
haven't
The
seen that one
Orphanage?
yet.
And then I haven't seen The Shape of Water or Pacific Rim, but I heard that some people didn't. A lot of people were very split on Pacific Rim.
You know, I think that it was more visual, introducing a new style of CGI, you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people think it was kind of out there in your face, I believe.
Mhm.
But
For
speaking of
me,
them,
for me,
oh, go ahead.
it's definitely the Hellboy movies that sold it for me.
Oh yeah, yeah, and again, CGI, and that was when it was kind of new.
All right. Anyways, but did you know he has a new project coming out? He's having
What's
a stop motion version of the story of Pinocchio. So we're finally going to get Guillermo del Toro's version of Pinocchio coming to life. It's going to be in Netflix and it's going to drop in December of 2022. So this year we're going to get Guillermo del Toro Pinocchio, and they've released a 30-second little teaser video, and you see Jiminy Cricket. I'm sorry, not Jiminy Cricket. His name
mm,
is Sebastian J. Cricket, and if you recognize the voice, it's Ewan McGregor. It's Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is playing this Sebastian J. Cricket. And if you look at the rest of the cast, it's pretty star-studded. So you get David Bradley, who's from Game of Thrones, to play Geppetto. Finn Wolfhard, um, from Stranger Things and the new Ghostbusters movie, is playing Lampwick. Kate Blanchett is Spezzatura the monkey. Tilda Swinton is the fairy with the turquoise hair. John Turturro is Master Cherry, and Christopher Waltz is the fox. So it's a big old cast,
yes,
right? And to
yes.
play Pinocchio himself, they got this young, brand new up and comer. His name is Gregory Mann. Probably just some new child actor that they pretty much got for the role, so he's getting a big break just off the gun. So good for him. But I'm wondering, like, how Guillermo del Toro, he tends to kind of go into like the spooky, creepy side of stuff. Like, what do you think the tone for this is going to be? Is he going to lean into the creepiness, or is it going to be a more family friendly thing?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's gonna be family friendly. Not at all. I don't
Not a
think it's gonna
Disney.
be completely creepy though. Um, I'm hoping that we get to explore a different side of Pinocchio because I mean, he's not like, "Oh, I'm just trying my best to be a boy," he has to struggle to become a boy. He has to learn how to be a boy. So I'm hoping there is some creepiness to it because I mean, come on, it's a puppet that's coming to life. That's creepy all on its own.
That's true. No, that is
But
true.
yeah, yeah. So hopefully, but we do see some different side of him becoming a boy instead of conquering things to be a boy. No, no,
Yeah.
we need some human aspects to this.
Well, he did an interview with Collider where basically he compared his version of Pinocchio to be kind of like Frankenstein, and he said that it's a personal passion project for him, and he said it's a very, very, very personal movie for me. The flip side for me has always been Pinocchio and Frankenstein are the same story because essentially that's the same story. The idea of Pinocchio that talks about things that I consider very deep, but it's fun and it's musical at the same time, and I find it incredibly moving. So, if he's comparing it to Frankenstein, I'm sure we'll get some of those kind of Guillermo del Toro creepy moments to it. So,
Yes, yes, of course.
um,
Let me ask you this: did you find the whole story of Frankenstein like very very creepy?
not really. I think if we had watched that Frankenstein movie, the old Universal one, when it came out, maybe. But I think in this day and age, like we're just looking at it like, oh, this is just some old goofy movie.
So when I talked about like some creepiness but not too much, that's what I'm hoping for.
Okay.
Exactly that. Yes, yes.
Oh, shizzle. All right,
So
let's move on.
basically, we're doing a reboot, and speaking of reboots, what are we doing?
We're getting a reboot of the Fresh Prince.
Yes. So Peacock's already released a new teaser for Bel Air, Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and it's gonna be February 13th when it starts. There's a 45-second preview that focuses on the confrontation at West Philadelphia to pick up basketball game. As we all remember, it was a little silly little fight. He gets picked up, spin around, hops in a cab.
Mhm.
Um, this reboot goes a little bit more deeper than that, and I actually like it because I mean, when we watched the original series, we saw there's a little funny fight, and then his aunt got mad, and he got sent to Bel Air. This one's like, whoa, this guy like almost he got into some stuff. This actually kind of explains a little bit more about that. Um, the and what I mean by him a little bit more is we got some punches, not funny punches. We got some actual punches. We got guns involved and police involved. This is it's a little bit more dramatic than the actual one that we enjoyed.
Yeah.
We did you get to watch that trailer?
Yeah, I mean, I saw the trailer, and Mikey in the chat, like, he's saying that it felt like it took itself a bit too seriously, but still intrigued. I feel the same way. I think for me, like, because they released another trailer before this one, and I gotta say, like, the thing that took me out the most is now you have a jacked Uncle Phil. Like,
Yes.
like what the fuck? Like, okay, Uncle Phil is always supposed to be like
Lovable.
like kind of like he's lovable, but he's definitely intimidating because he's a big guy in the original
Yeah.
show. But now it's like you take away kind of like that lovableness, and now it's just like, poof, like oh shit, like that's Uncle Phil. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this because if you remember this whole project kind of started with a fan made trailer that was made, I want to say 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I felt like the Uncle Phil that they got in there was way better than this role. My name is Earl in the chat says I can't wait for a gritty Wayans Brothers reboot.
Well, I will say I am actually interested in giving this one a try. I do want to see it from a different perspective. And
Yeah.
I mean, if we think about it, though, sitcoms aren't really a big thing anymore like they were back then.
No, for sure. Like definitely the whole sitcom genre has definitely changed. I can't say for the better or for worse, but it's definitely different now.
Yes,
And it's
yes.
almost like you notice the style of these sitcoms that are going for these kind of deeper, darker like messaging and just the way it's shot and the way it looks compared to old classic sitcoms that you see. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
yeah. No, for sure. I still can't get over the buff Uncle Phil.
So I got a
But
question for you. What was your number one moment that you remember from watching the original Fresh Prince?
um wow, okay. So if like for me the number one moment, I want to say this is the number one moment, but it's the moment that uh sticks out to me the most. Just kind of like WTF like so do you remember when Will's mom gets married to his girlfriend's dad? Was it Lisa?
Don't remember names, but
I think it was
yeah.
Nia Long. Nia Long played his girlfriend. And so it's like essentially now they're step siblings, but they were dating. Like that's weird.
Yes, yes.
That's and I was like they never really like that was never addressed. Her character never showed up again.
Yeah.
And I was just like
I
that's weird.
Yeah,
Oh,
very much.
nah.
I would say for
It,
me, it was when Carlton brought that gun to defend himself.
oh,
Yes. So after watching that trailer, Carlton is nothing like, the original Carlton.
yeah.
So I'm wondering how, because one of the great things about Bel Air, Fresh Prince of Bel Air, was they actually told a story that was relatable and mixed in comedy with it. There's no,
Yeah.
I don't see how they can put too much comedy in this one because it's very, very dramatic. So I'm wondering if it's still gonna have that same, relatable story about, people trying to fit in, people trying to, you know, find themselves in the world. Because Carlton seems a little bit stuck up in this one, and not the funny kind of stuck up.
All right. So before we move on to the next topic, I'm going to cut this one short just because I just got breaking news.
Ooh,
Breaking news. Tom Brady is retiring from football after 22 seasons and 7 Super Bowl titles.
Oh,
no
snap.
way.
Yeah.
going-
No, that's
The
pretty
Rams,
crazy.
the Rams made him retire. Yes.
The Rams made Tom Brady retire. Like that's Tom Brady. I just got Zombie Bay in the chat saying no way, but I just got breaking news. It's pure from Adam Schefter. So you know that Adam Schefter don't miss. All right. So he's Tom Brady's retiring. That's crazy talk.
Wow. I thought he was gonna go to like 50, 50
Yeah.
something.
I thought he was going to go for one
Same.
more.
Yo, that's nuts. But he's to me, in my opinion, he's the GOAT. Like just on the fact that he's 7 Super Bowls on he got on 2 different teams. Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah,
But
me too.
I mean, the man has like he has like 1% body fat. He like doesn't eat anything that's not carefully calculated. He doesn't drink. He doesn't do all that stuff.
So I agree with you on Go. I still hate him though.
Yeah, same. I still Tom Brady. I think he just sees that there's no path for him to win now because of, well, now you got Josh Allen and Mahomes and all these QBs coming up. It's just gonna get harder and harder.
And Father Time does not lose.
Nope, Father Time is undefeated. Anyways, let's move on to the next topic. So we are going to move on from the Fresh Prince. We're gonna move on to another. I don't want to say a dark reboot because we haven't really seen what this looks like, but it's definitely a controversial one that is going on. We're talking about the planned reboot for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and the kind of the controversy surrounding it, because Peter Dinklage is criticizing the live action remake of Disney's Snow White, which was announced in June in 2022, where they casted West Side Story breakout star Rachel Ziegler as the title character, who is a Latina. Now, Ray, did you watch the West Side Story reboot?
I did not watch the reboot because I didn't want to ruin the original. I actually enjoyed the
fair.
original.
Mikey, you saw it, right?
Yes, I did. I totally forgot I did. Yeah.
Was there anything stand out about the main star, Rachel Ziegler?
Not really. It was whatever. Like, I don't know, it didn't. Nothing about that was stood out to me. Like, as you could tell, like I kind of forgot about the movie that I watched it. So, in my opinion, it's kind of forgettable.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But so anyway, so the live action movie is going to be directed by Mark Webb, who is best known for the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies. But for me, Mark Webb is best known for his first movie, which is his best, 500 Days of Summer, which is one of my favorite movies. And also, we found out that Gal Gadot is going to be the evil queen. So, here's the thing. Peter Dinklage, who has a form of dwarfism called achondroplasia, he said he was taken aback by the fact that, okay, on one point, Disney is trying to be progressive by casting a Latina in this role, but at the same time, you still have problematic representation of dwarves. Now, to quote Peter Dinklage, what he said on this podcast, he said, "Take a step back and look what you're doing there. It makes no sense to me." He said in an hour into the interview, he said, "You're progressive in one day, and you're still making that fucking backward story about seven dwarves living in a cave together. What the are you doing, man?" And so Peter Dinklage also said, "Look, there's no not to offend anyone." He said, "I'll love and respect to the actress and the people who thought they were doing the right thing," but you could tell that he was really, really frustrated. So, what do you think, Ray? Do you think there's a double standard here? Do you think that there's something that needs to be done? Do they need to change the story?
So, let me be completely honest. When I first read that, I said, "That's a story. That's Snow White." You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Gave it a second thought. They changed Snow White to a Latina actor. And then I thought a little bit more. The story of Snow White, the Disney aspect of it, was a change from the original story. I completely agree with him that if they changed the story at least twice already, why can't they change it a little bit more? And Disney has this, they're trying to make this image of being inclusive, being progressive. We're ahead of the game kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't they change it?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, personally, for me, I think if you want to have the representation of dwarves there, like Peter Dinklage said, don't just have them like living in a cave together, just seven dwarves. Give them something other than one personality trait that's their name to be, like an actual person, a character. Other than that, like you said, they changed it from the original. My favorite part of the original book is at the very end when Snow White and the prince, I don't know his name, they get married, and the evil queen shows up to the wedding. They make her dance on hot iron shoes until she passes out and dies. Which I'm like, yo, let's get that part back. If we're going,
let's bring it back.
If we're getting dark, gritty reboots,
right?
Like for the Fresh Prince, we gotta go back to the original Grimm's Brothers fairy tales. We gotta bring out them hot ass shoes. Gal Gadot's gotta just dance on them until she passes out. That's how it's gonna be. But
Right, right.
I mean, like you said, I think there is a double standard because I think a lot of these corporations, Disney, not just them, but all the big ones, they want to have this, you know, this image of being woke and progressive. That's the hot buzzword, right?
Right.
And even though, me myself, I'm really kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm someone who considers myself someone who believes in a lot of the messaging, but you can see through people being genuine and something that is just a marketing ploy, kind of like on June, all the pride flags go up on all these corporations, but
Yes.
as soon as July hits, they're all gone. We've
They're
all
all
talked about
gone.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
My name is Earl in the chat says, I'm surprised that Fragile White haven't been crying about Snow White being Latina like they did when they read Ariel as black. He said, I want a gritty Snow White Fresh Prince crossover. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. But yeah.
No. I'm liking that idea,
But yeah, anyways, let's go from something let's go from some Disney to something a little bit more gory and gutsy. What's up
Ooh.
with Mortal Kombat?
So, Mortal Kombat. You guessed it. We're gonna make another one. Not us, but another one's coming out. We're making a Mortal Kombat 2. It was pretty obvious that a second one was gonna come out. So for this one, they hired Slater to be the head writer. He made Marvel's Moon Knight, and if you like Moon Knight, this one should be a good one for you. We got actor Oscar Isaac, Ethan Hawke, and Gaspard. The French actor. Unfortunately, he died last week. Yeah, but yeah, this movie's gonna be very, very gory. The original one was kind of mixed. You have critics, like Rotten Tomato, and me personally, I don't trust Rotten Tomato, but they gave it a 54%. But audiences gave it an 86%. What'd you think of it, Gio?
I couldn't hear you. What was that?
I said, what'd you think about it? Rotten Tomato gave it a 54%, but audiences gave it an 86%. I personally don't trust Rotten Tomato when it comes to, judging movies, but
yeah, no, for me personally, I thought it was an all right movie. Like I watched it much later down the road, as far as kind of the getting past the hype and getting past the whole because when it came out, the majority of the people that I saw that were on social media were saying, oh, it was a letdown, it was a disappointment. I was like, all right, wait till that kind of uproar subsides and I'll watch it, see for myself. And I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was horrible. I didn't think it was bad. It was just kind of whatever. It was an obvious setup movie. I think they have a plan in place, and they're gonna. I think the second one will be better because they will actually get into what we know about Mortal Kombat, which is all that. What's the word I'm looking for? All the tournament stuff, like the video
tournament. That's the big one, is the tournament stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was a little upset that the first one didn't have the tournament at all, but I understand. It's a setup. It's to get ready.
And okay, so spoilers for Mortal Kombat, but this movie's been out for a year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What happened?
That's it. I'm sorry. I started that spoiler.
No, it's all good. BTG Play says the movie had the worst main character. Dude's main power was literal plot armor. but yeah, I was gonna say, you only get to see Scorpion for like a few minutes in the movie. It's really dumb. Yeah, that part I didn't really care for. I mean, some of the fights were okay, but yeah, it was an obvious setup movie. I was not a fan of it. I was not really a fan. But I'll give the second one a shot, especially if they're gonna release it streaming again. I'll watch it on HBO Max.
Oh, of course. It's easier when you're at home and you get to enjoy it on your own time.
Yeah, not having to pay money to go to a movie theater and watch it, stuff like that. So it is what it is.
Agreed.
But yeah, who's even in that movie? What characters? They have Jax, Sonya Blade, Sub-Zero, Goro, Kano. Is that it? No, this guy. Shang Tsung. Here's what I'm waiting for. Right here, this is what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting to see who they cast as Katana and who they cast
Ooh.
as Melina. Because I love Melina. She's my favorite.
So who do you have in mind that you think that they should?
Honestly, I don't know. Who would be a good Katana, good Melina? Because I think what they should do is they should. I mean, I don't know how they could probably do it through some like movie magic wizardry, but it should be the same actress playing both. Because she's a clone of
Yeah,
Katana
yeah,
essentially. Yeah.
yeah. And I mean
I don't know
they have that magic going on, so
who could play Katana.
I can't think of anyone to be
Oh,
honest.
you know who I think they should get to play Katana? What's her name? Karen Fukuhara.
Give me a movie that she played in.
What's that?
They say give me a movie she played in.
She was. Have you watched The Boys?
Think so. I can't remember it though.
Okay, so
Oh man.
she was also in. She was in Suicide Squad, the original one, but she didn't really do much in this movie. But she was Katana.
Okay, okay.
She was also in what other movies has she been? She was mostly known for
Oh,
The Boys, Suicide Squad.
okay. I can see that. I can see that.
Apparently, she was in. Is that it? She's not really in much.
No.
No, she does a lot of voice work, but she hasn't really been in much. Yeah, but I think she would be a good person to play Katana. But we'll see. We'll see how it
Yeah.
goes. Mostly based on who like her role in The Boys.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on. Mortal Kombat, and then now to another big property, Star Wars. So it was announced that not Visceral, Visceral's gone, but Respawn Entertainment under EA is making 3 Star Wars games. Now the first one is, to no one's surprise, a sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, because that game got a lot of hype when it was released. A lot of outlets liked it. It got good review scores. A lot of people were like, this is essentially the Star Wars game we've been waiting for a long time. I haven't played it yet. Mikey raves about it. He says it's one of his favorite games.
It's one of my favorite Star Wars
They
stories.
also announced. Star Wars stories.
Story.
Okay.
Yeah, it's up there.
Okay.
I was gonna disagree with you on the best game, but I can see the story.
Okay. Well, subjective, whatever. I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I agree. It's not the best game, Star Wars game. I would give that to Star Wars Jedi Power Battles on PS1.
BTG Play says it's a great game. Chill 382 says Star Wars Jar Jar's Journeys. You know what? That would actually be a more interesting game for me. I'm ready for that. But besides that, because we know that the it's going to be the same people making the Jedi Fallen Order 2, but in addition to that, we're getting a first-person shooter, a Star Wars first-person shooter that's being helmed by the VR team that made Medal of Honor VR. So I'm not really sure about what they do there. I know Medal of Honor hasn't really been a big property in years. They've been kind of taken over by Call of Duty and other first-person shooters, but we'll see what they do with Star Wars. And then the last one, they said that Bit Reactor, which is a new studio that is made up of people from Fire Access Games, who mostly make the XCOMs games, they're making a strategy game for not EA, for yes, EA, but for Respawn Entertainment.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. I'm not really a big fan of first person shooters, so the Star Wars strategy game seems something more my akin, but we'll see. What do you think, Ray? Are you excited for these games?
So I do like Apex, and I want to say I kind of trust Respawn, but at the same time I don't, especially if you know about their servers side. I don't like EA, and Respawn is kind of same as EA. They're money hungry. We all know the disaster from the last Star Wars, what happened. I just have to say I'm 50-50. I'm going to be the type of person that waits, at least a month or two to see what happens when these games get released. I may go towards the FPS games because that's more my style, especially lately.
For sure. But we'll see. I mean, one thing that was surprising is that they didn't announce a Battlefield 3. Not Battlefield, Battlefront.
Battlefront, yes.
Battlefront. There we go. They didn't announce Battlefront 3. It seems like because the second one was marred in negativity, but from what I hear towards the end, with they made a bunch of patches and changes, that it ended up being an enjoyable game at the very end.
Yes, but
But
you keep that reputation.
yeah, it's kind of little too late. Too little, too late. You feel me? It's like you made this mistake. DICE pretty much shot it all the hell to microtransactions, and the fans don't forget that, and they don't forget. And they're like, oh, it's EA, it's DICE, and apparently the new Battlefield game that came out was not even well received at all. Like a lot of people thought it was a flop. So maybe they just don't have faith in DICE to be able to make new games. I don't know.
I have to agree with you on that because I was one of the unlucky souls to get the new Battlefield 2. Same thing, it's just there's so many glitches. The concept was good, but they executed it, in my opinion, not the best. They could have executed it better. I
Yeah.
feel like if we get another Star Wars by them, it probably won't do well because of their reputation that they created for themselves.
Zombie Bait in the chat says, I can't wait for Microsoft to buy EA. I mean, at this point, like everything is in play. Ever since Activision fell, like who knows what other else is going to top in the house of cards. But I think, EA getting bought out, I mean, I'm not going to say never, but I think Activision was just put into a particular situation based on kind of the shittiness of their work environment to where they were like, all right, we'll sell because this isn't looking like it's going to get any better. And they're probably like, we can cash out this way, which, unfortunately means that Bobby Kotick still makes out with a lot of money, but at least they're going to get rid of him in the future. So it is what it is. Anyways, let's move on from Star Wars to anime. Jujutsu Kaisen. What's going on with that, Ray?
Jujutsu Kaisen. So we're going to get a movie from them. Jujutsu Kaisen 0. It's going to be released in spring. If you don't know about this movie, we got the main character who is cursed. In my opinion, I think you should watch the trailer. Watch a little bit about this because the storyline is pretty interesting. I know earlier we were talking about horror stuff, and I was like, I hope it doesn't get too horror. I still like horror stuff. I still like creepy stuff. This is kind of a creepy story, but it's it's really interesting. Uh, this is going to be a prequel to the manga, and March 18th, I believe, is when they get released to about 1,500 theaters across the nation. Gio, do you know much about the story? I mean, it's a really deep story, but
so for as far as Jujutsu Kaisen goes, so they're essentially Jujutsu Kaisen 0, the movie, is the prequel story set before the original series. I've read the whole manga for Jujutsu Kaisen 0. I know what happens in that one. I would say that it's a very well self-contained story set in that universe. And I've read some of the manga. I haven't gotten far on it. I stopped reading it because I wanted to pick up the anime, which, for me, I say I'm going to pick up an anime, it goes in my backlog, and then it goes to all hell. I don't know when I'm ever going to get a chance to watch it, but I heard it's good. And I've seen clips of the show, and the animation looks sick. So I think you put this self-contained story with this kind of, you give them a bigger budget with the animation studio that's doing it, and I'm excited for this because I do like this. I do like the fact that, okay, it's not this big like shonen tropey thing. It's a self-contained story about this kid who's cursed by his childhood friend, and I think, it's got action, it's got some gut punches, it's got some laughs. I really like the characters that they focus on in this one, so I'm ready for it. I'm ready for Jujutsu Kaisen 0. I'll watch it probably in theaters.
Oh, you're gonna watch it in theater?
Yeah.
I should join you on that. I think I'll watch it in theaters too.
Let's do it. Let's set up a day.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we get Mikey involved too.
You agree, Mikey?
Forcing him to watch anime. But yeah, no, I'm excited for it. Also, like, wasn't this like fairly popular in Japan? Like super popular?
It's very popular. In fact, I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not watch Demon Slayer.
Really?
I
Same.
it takes a Yeah, you need to draw me in the beginning for me to get in. It's kind of like My Hero Academic. Don't kill me, guys. Uh, one of my
Oh,
friends, one of my friends hates the fact that I can't get into it. It starts off real slow. I feel the same about Demon Slayer. It didn't draw me in the beginning. Um, but Demon Slayer is a pretty big, anime.
yeah.
You
No,
believe this
I
has
think
a chance to overtake it.
I think for sure, like Demon Slayer takes a couple episodes to get into it. For me, it took me about 4 episodes for me to really sink my teeth into it. About 4 or 5, and then from there it's like all speed ahead. I'll go. But Jujutsu Kaisen it's outpacing the Evangelion movie from last year. So we'll see. I'm excited to watch it. I don't know if it'll reach Demon Slayer levels because that movie everywhere is just or that series is everywhere in Japan. Like it's like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
big thing. Like what we think of like Naruto and Dragon Ball Z, like here in America, like Demon Slayer is like tenfold over there. BTG in the play chat says Demon Slayer better than Jujutsu Kaisen. Fight me. Shut up, you.
Well, let him
Um,
know. I'm gonna watch because you said it took you 4 episodes. I'm gonna watch 5 episodes. If I still don't like it, then I'll fight.
all right, for sure. I don't know, BTG play. I've taken a punch from Ray. Yeah, that shit hurt.
Hey, it was a punch of love. Don't let him think I'm a violent person.
For full disclosure, I met Ray because he would do boxing classes, and that's pretty much how I met this guy. And we started talking about like other stuff, and he's the one who approached and was like, "Oh, let me be on your show." I was like, "All right, dog. Like, we'll find a date for you to get on here." And now we finally got him on here.
And I'm happy for it because I
Yeah.
have always wanted to get on here.
My name is Earl says I had to restart Demon Slayer twice before I stuck with it. So it's not just you. I think it is very much something that you gotta wait for it to actually sink its teeth into you. Zombie Bait says March 18th with tickets on sale February 25th for Jujutsu Kaisen 0. I'm sure you're gonna watch it, if not day one, like opening weekend, Zombie Bait. So yeah.
Yes.
Anyways. BGG Play says, I'm okay with getting knocked out for dying on my hill. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, I like him. I like him.
All right. Let's move on to the next one. So these are going to be our bigger topics, the last two, my last one and Ray's last one. We're going to go a little bit longer. Instead of a 5-minute thing, it's going to be usually a 7 to 10 minute discussion. But we're going to talk about Pokemon. Pokemon Legends Arceus or Arceus or Arceus or whatever you want to pronounce it. I don't know. This is why Pokemon needs voice acting, so we know how to pronounce this stuff finally, because it's very much a half step, but it's getting good reviews. So Pokemon Legends Arceus is kind of, I wouldn't say a reboot, but a tweaking of the formula. Actually, no, tweaking is too little. I'd say it's a change up in the formula, where in the game it's set in an older version of the Sinnoh region, you're trying to complete the first ever Pokedex. And so this area is now called Hisui, and at this rate, it is rare for people in Pokemon to live in close harmony. And there are various elements where you got to go in and find these Pokemon who might not be as friendly as you remember them. They're not all, like, I don't want to say domesticated in the show, but they're essentially domesticated, like in the TV show and in the other games, right? They wait in tall grass for you to capture them. Not these ones. They're all over the place. Now, I also, to me, for a lot of people, were surprised to find out that this wasn't a spin-off game that was developed by some other developing studio. It was actually developed by Game Freak. And so I watched videos on this, and there are moments to where, like in the trailer, like you see there's a giant Snorlax with red eyes that is running full speed at you. Like, yeah, that's kind of like, oh,
Yeah, that's
like
scary.
this is real. Like, this isn't no cutesy stuff. Like, these Pokemon will attack you, the not just your Pokemon, they'll attack you, the trainer.
You gotta give them some hands.
I know, they're gonna throw some hands.
I'll teach you.
VGC gave it 100 out of 100 and said Pokemon Legends is the breath of fresh air the series has needed for so long. It may have not been apparent from the trailers, but this is one of the most entertaining, engaging, and grossing games in the entire history of the Pokemon series. It is highly recommended to both longtime fans and complete newcomers. GameSpot gave it a little bit of a less of a high review, but it was still an 80 out of 10. They said some of the new ideas in Arceus Arceus have rough edges, and it's slow to start before you get access to the environments and mounts. It is an awkward first step, but it was big adjustment for me, a longtime fan of the series, to make. Once Pokemon Legends Arceus finds its stride, it's the most daring and innovative the series has been in years, breaking apart from the staid core and creating something new and exciting from its pieces. And giving it a more tepid review, IGN gave it a 70 out of 100 and said, "Pokemon Legends Arceus is an ambitious revamp that successfully revolutionizes the defining Pokemon experience of catching and battling. But unfortunately, it is set in a drab, empty, and at times tedious world." What do you think, Ray? How are you going to buy this game?
I was a little 50-50 on this. I'm kind of teetering towards no. I don't want to be let down. I see the reviews. The reviews are good. I also watch other people play it. I've watched videos of it being played. There's some moments where I'm like, this is what Pokemon need, and then this is what Pokemon needed. The game needed this. Then there's moments where I'm like, okay, there's nothing around. And what I mean by that is it's an open world with a lot of empty spaces. Like, you got to fill the space in, and I understand it's on the Switch, but I mean, there's been other games on the Switch that are open world that it's not empty like that. That's the part that turns me off, is just the emptiness of the world.
Yeah. My name is Earl in the chat says Pokemon Legends looks worse than Jet Set Radio from Dreamcast. There's no way this shit is 10 out of 10. IGN had it right at 7 out of 10, and it's always my opinion is objectively and factually correct. Get out of here.
Hey, no, I agree with him on that one. Yes, I'd give it a 6 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10. Yes.
Zombie Base says Earl's been looking at early development picks. And then Earl responds, Earl's playing the game right now. Yo, the chat is spicy today. I've noticed that. Like, yo, we're in some fight. We're in a fighting mood today. I'm loving it. Like, I love it. I love the energy. I love that energy, the aggressiveness to it. But yeah, no, I'm probably eventually gonna get this game. I think I'm like you. I was 50-50 at first, waiting for the reviews to come out, and I think a lot of it, like the let's say like the 10 out of 10 reviews and 9 out of 10 reviews that people are giving it, I would say has to be doing part of the low expectation and kind of the low bar of the low standard that people had for Game Freak games, as far as, okay, Game Freak is going to put out like a bare minimums Pokemon thing that's going to change a few things. They're going to have a couple new Pokemon designs in it, and people are going to buy it up because it's Pokemon and kids love Pokemon. Right. So, that's how I was about it. But I probably will give this a shot. The only thing is, right now, I am deep into Shin Megami Tensei 5 and God of War. I'm playing those two games simultaneously. So it's very much like, I'm kind of full right now. I can't take anything new.
Gotcha.
BTG Play said, I like the critique of the empty space. Yeah, I had the same first impression. So,
Agreed.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. If I play it, I'll let y'all know how I feel about it. But as of right now, I'm very much kind of deep into the whatchamacallit, other games right now. But speaking of which, I have seen that the fact that this is essentially a Pokemon game that is making changes, and I think even if it's not the 100 out of 100, 90 out of 100 score that people think it is, I think to me, it's a good thing that Game Freak is willing to make these chances. And maybe when we get a Switch 2 or a Pro Switch or a Super Switch, whatever you want to call it, Nintendo's next system, then we can finally see what the vision that they're really going for. So I'm happy that this is made, and I hope it is successful. That way Game Freak says, it seems like people like it when we switch up the formula. So I'm going to buy the game. It'd probably take me like 3 months to actually get around to playing to it, but for sure, I hope it is massively successful just for that reason.
I will say, in this day and age, games get released. It's not the final product. It never is the final product.
True.
If they do update it and they add a lot more to it, and I am no longer addicted to Destiny 2. Unfortunately, I got sucked in. My friend sucked me into that game. I'll give it a try. I'll buy it.
For sure. All right. Now, let's move on to the next one, right? Tell me what's up with Studio Ghibli.
Oh, Studio Ghibli. They are making a theme park. It's already set to be, released November or released set to open November 1st. There are 3 parts to this park. Only one of them is going to be released. Uh, it's going to be based on the work of Miyazaki, um, the lead animation studio for firm of Studio Ghibli's. So this has been teased for a while already, and it was teased for fall 2022, and now we have a set hard date. Of course, it's not the full park, but it's only one part of the park. But at least we have a date. Um, I would love to go see this opening. Unfortunately, Japan's not accepting anyone right now. But it's going to be built within the Expo 2005. I can never say this name. Aichi, near
Aichi.
Aichi, near central Japan, and it's going to be about 494 acres. It's
So
going to be, huh?
I looked this up prior to the show.
Yeah,
If you want a bit of a kind of a comparison, so it said 400. What was it? 490 what?
494 acres.
494 acres. Disneyland is 500 acres. So it's roughly going to be comparable to that size, a little bit smaller.
Oh, snap.
Speaking of Disneyland, this is supposed to be I mean, if we look at the stuff that studio puts out, it's beautiful art,
Mhm.
my favorite, Spirited Away and everything. Do you think it's going to be as magical as Disneyland? Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, I think it's going to be magical in a different way. Like, it's not going to be the same old Disney. What was I going to say? It's not going to be the same old, like, Disney where there's a facade, an image, they have all this stuff built. Like, I know Miyazaki himself is very big on, like, being, like, respectful to nature. That's what some of the main messaging in his movies. And I think they said that they're going to build this park without cutting down a single tree, which would be interesting to see how they do that. Because it's not going to be all this like steel and metal and stuff like that. It's going to be within nature, and I don't know if they're going to, I think you said that they're not going to have rides, right?
They're not going to have any rides. It's not going to be a theme park like Disneyland. But I see it more as a museum, kind of, and they already have kind of museums dedicated to these things.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be something for you to walk in and be immersed into the worlds of these art, these movies. They even have a section which I would love to go to. Once again, Spirited Away. It's all about Spirited Away, and they created it inside a warehouse. So rain or shine, you can go there and go see this. And I would love to go do this, go there and go see it and be involved in it.
Yeah. I mean, and you can also tell by the budget too, because this is a 34 billion Japanese yen project. Which, if you change it to American dollars, it's a $295 million joint venture. So Disneyland, all those theme parks are like billion-dollar adventures. So you can tell that it's not going to have the same budget. But I think for the vision that they're going for, that they'll be able to get the job done. I'm excited for it. My name is Earl says, will it be as magical as Six Flags Discovery Kingdom? Of course not. No, nowhere is more magical than Six Flags Discovery Kingdom in beautiful Vallejo, California. It's by far the #1 theme park in the world.
Whoa. You know I'm an LA native. It is Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Magic Mountain. Yo, I've been to Magic Mountain once, and I gotta say, as far as roller coasters go, that's the top one.
Yes, I love that place.
I love roller coasters, but yeah, no, I mean we're not gonna get the roller coasters at the Ghibli Park, which wouldn't fit really any of the movies,
right?
Yeah, well, maybe Porco Rosso, like if you're flying on a plane, but yeah, I mean, what could you really do with that? What I think is gonna be like amazing.
What's that?
Amazing at this park is the food.
Okay, yes, I can see that.
Yeah, the food is going to be top tier, amazing at this part. Do you remember the first part, at the beginning of Spirited Away? where there's just that mountain of food that turns the adults into pigs.
Yes.
Yo, if they can
Yeah.
recreate that, like
That
I'm all in for
amazing.
pigging out there.
Hey,
I'm
hey,
all
you
in
can
on
turn me
that.
in big. If it's free food, yeah, I'll go ahead and take it.
I'm yeah, I'm excited for this. I mean, we're gonna see kind of these places in real life and what they look like. Like especially, I think for me, Spirited Away in Nausicaa in the Valley of the Wind, they could have. I don't know. I mean, maybe they're not gonna have rides, but if they could have, uh, like animatronics of some of the
Animatronics.
bigger characters, like in
Yeah.
not Nausicaa, Princess Mononoke, like the giant. What is the giant deer? It's like the Lord of the Forest. Like if we
Yes.
could see him just kind of within a clearing, yo, that would be sick
That
as
would be
fuck.
amazing. I'm actually really interested in how they're gonna, you know, involve you with the moving castle. That's gonna be interesting. I
Oh
saw that
yeah,
they were gonna
yeah.
go through a steampunk kind of theme and everything, but yeah, this one's gonna be pretty interesting. So I know that you, Gio, you want to go to Japan.
I'm there.
When they open up and they allow us to go, is this gonna be the first place you go to?
Hmm.
I want to see if it piques your interest that
I
much.
mean, maybe it's not gonna be the first place I go to because for me that's already reserved to Nintendo Land at Universal Studios.
Yes, yes.
But it's definitely it will definitely be somewhere where I'm going, especially once they open up the full park because they're only opening like part one this
One.
year. So when they do like parts 2 and 3, yo, that's gonna be I'm gonna be pushing people out the way. I'm gonna be that American out there, the rude
The
American.
rude American, you're gonna fit the stereotype.
We'll fit the zero, but like out of the way. Ah, I've been waiting
Oh
for this
man.
for years. But yeah, that's for sure gonna be somewhere where I'm gonna go. I'm excited for it. But yeah, what about you, Ray? Like, is this gonna be one of your top places?
It will be, in my opinion, number 3.
Number 3. Okay.
Number 3.
What are the
So
other? What is 1 and 2?
number 2 is going to be, it's a fox sanctuary. I love animals.
Mm.
Me and my girlfriend talked about this and we were like, yes, let's go see the fox sanctuary. So it's a fox sanctuary where they had saved these foxes and everything, and then they had kids and they had kids. So it's generations and generations of these fox that grew up with humans. So they're not domesticated, but they're used to humans.
They're friendly
So
to them.
yes, so I really want to go there. And then number 1 is kind of a it's a little adult rated. In Japan, they have these things called a love hotel.
Oh,
Yes, I want to go there with my girl.
for sure, for sure. That's what's up. All right. BGG Play says Huey about to be the new Logan Paul. Get the fuck out of here. First of all, I don't have the money to be Logan Paul. Also, like, I'm not trying to have all of Japan hate me. I want them to love me. Ah! All right, let's move on. All right, so that's it for the subtopics today. We're gonna move on to our next subject, which is our top 5. So what it is every week we have a top 5 where we kind of, me and either Mikey or our guest host, we list down our top 5 based on what the subject is. Mikey, let us know what the subject for today's top 5 is.
All right. So, what are your guys' top 5 fight scenes in TV, film, and anime?
All right.
All right.
I'll let you start with your number 5, Ray.
All right, number 5. This isn't too serious. What I mean by not too serious, I love it, but the fight itself wasn't too serious. It's going to be the News Team Street fight in Anchorman, because that scene was crazy, stupid, over the top, and that's what makes it awesome.
My favorite part is, what's his name? Steve Carell.
Yeah.
He's just in the middle holding a grenade.
Yes.
Yo, Anchorman. Yo, that's a great movie. I need to rewatch it.
Yes, you do. I agree.
Anchorman fight scene. Who is it that shows up? Is it Ben Stiller?
That's Spanish.
Yeah,
the Spanish. Yes, yes.
that's great. That's great. And one of my favorite parts too was at the very end when they're like talking about it, and they're like, "Hey, yo, Britt killed a guy. You should probably lay low after that."
Yes. And then that's where we got our awesome meme from. Well, that escalated quickly.
That's true. You know what? I haven't seen Anchorman 2. So
Oh no,
but I know there is a fight scene in that one. Is it as good as the first one?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm with you on that. I have not seen Anchorman 2 either.
Oh, okay, for sure. Have
Yeah,
you seen Anchorman 2, Mikey?
No, I have not, because I don't know. I never got around to it.
It what?
I never got around to it.
Oh yeah, same.
Same
Who else? I
thing.
think Luke Wilson shows up in this fight. Who else? Can't remember what other actors. It's just a bunch of other actors just
It's a
showing up out of
bunch.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, Vince Vaughn is in it. Of course, Vince Vaughn has to be in it.
I loved
I
it.
don't know if Owen Wilson shows up, but yeah. All right. Now for my number 5. This one is a very serious one. It is the Bride versus Oren Ishii in Kill Bill. Now,
You went real serious.
most people think that, the best fight in Kill Bill is actually the Bride versus the Crazy 88, which is, I think, visually probably the better fight. But for me, just kind of the seriousness and kind of the stakes involved, and just kind of the Bride, like, yo, this is one of the people that I'm out here to kill. Plus, it's Lucy Liu, dog.
Yeah. Yes.
Lucy Liu. Lucy
Young
Liu.
forever.
Lucy Liu forever.
Yes.
So that's what I gotta say, yo, because I just picked. Honestly, I gotta be honest with you. I just picked this because I love Lucy Liu.
Hey, that's worth it. That's that's a good one.
Yeah, for sure. All right, give us your number 4.
Number 4, Iron Man versus Captain America and Winter Soldier. I'm just gonna say it straight up. Captain America was wrong for that one. That
Yeah.
guy killed his parents, and then also, I mean, it was 2 versus 1. They still couldn't like completely take him down. Like, yeah. I loved that. I loved it. The fight was dramatic. The fight was there was a lot of emotions in there, and overall, that movie, in my opinion, was probably the best movie in the universe. Up until, I'm gonna be honest, Black Panther is my favorite, but up to
It's also my favorite as well.
Same.
yeah, up to Black Panther, that movie, but that movie was just full of action, and I think that fight really capped it all off.
Nice. All right. I mean, I do also love that fight. Just the fact that, what you said is that you see Bucky and Cap like completely in sync. Like, you see them completely like, in sync fighting Cap, and they still couldn't get the job done, right? And I think also the emotional stakes in the fight actually really give it like that kind of extra like gut punch. Like, yo, this is Tony and Steve.
Exactly.
Like, boys.
Exactly.
So I was like, all right, I'll give it to you on that one. All right. Anything else to say on that one?
That one's rest. Let's put that to rest because it gets me riled up too. I'm just like,
Okay, for me, my number 4 would be the hallway fight scene from Daredevil season 1. Yo, this is just brutal. The way it's shot is just in one hallway, and it's carefully like slowly following this kind of fight going on in the hallway, and you don't see what happens in the other rooms, but it's panning in and out, and you just see Matt Murdock just in there just taking out people, and it's just a couple of guys. It's literally like this building full of dudes that he's just beating the crap out of them. And what I enjoy about it is like it's not like Daredevil's not getting punched as well, because he's also going through the ringer, which makes it like super what's the word? A little bit more not gory, but like intense. That's the word. Yeah, because that fight to me, that's what sold me on the TV show of Daredevil. I was like, yo, Netflix has something with these Daredevil shows, because right here, Matt Murdock is just, these guys have guns, they have weapons, and he's still beating the crap out of them, taking them down, and just knocking him out. It's great.
Yes,
It's a great fight scene.
I agree. I think the whole choreograph on that was just amazing, beautiful. The point of view that they showed it from as he's doing work. That's yes, I 100% agree with you on that one.
Have you seen Old Boy, Gio?
Mikey, I haven't seen Old Boy.
Oh, okay. Because like there's a hallway fight in that one too, and it's not filmed exactly like how it was in Daredevil, but it seems like Daredevil took inspiration from that hallway fight in Old Boy.
I've been wanting to watch Old Boy for like ever, but the person who I was supposed to borrow the movie from never got back to me on it. So, but now everything's streaming, so now I guess I can look it up. So,
I was gonna say, is that person here?
No, it's not. No, not here. All right, let's move on. Give me your number 3, Ray.
So number 3 is going to be Batman versus Joker in Dark Knight.
Okay.
Near the end. I enjoyed that fight mainly because it was short, sweet, and to the point. We got to the point on why Joker, the relationship between Joker and Batman, you need me as much as I need you kind of thing. And honestly, that fight was a little more realistic compared to a lot of other fights. He came in with his weapon, took him down, thanks to the help of those dogs. And then there was nothing over the top about that fight. And I think that's what I enjoyed about that.
Yeah, I think at this point also it is very much an ideological battle, like in the sense of like this is two people who believe in two different things about humanity and the world at large, and the Joker has this plan to show why, his way of madness is right.
Yes.
And it's very much like, when the bomb strikes, when things go to hell, you will see that I was the one that's right. And it's as much as it is a physical battle, because it's not really a physical battle per se, like you said. It's not over the top. It's not really that much. It's definitely more of a chess move. Like
it's all psychology, psychological, and that's I think that's what I liked about it a lot.
Right, and also just kind of the fact that Batman, he wants to finish this fight, but at the same time he can't go too crazy. He can't like you said, he can't go over the top, because if he ends up killing the Joker, then the Joker is right in the end.
Exactly.
Yeah. Have you heard that the Joker was supposed to be in The Dark Knight Returns?
I did, when he was Heath Ledger unfortunately passed away, so they changed it up, right?
Yeah. As in the original, because you can still, what's supposed to happen, because if you see, they wrote about it in the novelization of the book. But when Bane busts out all the prisoners from Blackgate, like you see the Joker in his cell, and the Bane looks at him as like not him, like he's too dangerous, like we can't let him loose. So I thought that would have been dope to see.
Yes,
in The Dark Knight Rises, but unfortunately, like you said, Heath Ledger passed away.
Rest in peace.
All right. What's the next? What's your? You got any more to say on this fight?
Mikey?
Oh no, I would say it's probably top 5 superhero fights of all time. And because along with the Iron Man Cap, it's just one of those things. Like you said, it's all psychology, and like it's so thematic and it's so good.
Agreed.
All right. So my next one. Yo, Ray, have you seen the Raid movies?
I have not.
Bruh. Yo, look, because Mikey told me about the Raid movies.
Yes.
And I watched both of them. And yo.
Yes.
Is it worth it?
Yes.
Yo, you have to watch these movies. Like, you have to watch The Raid and The Raid 2. These are for sure top tier action movies.
If you're a fan of John Wick, The Raid is your.
Say again?
If you're a fan of John Wick, I think you'll like The Raid.
Of course. Okay.
Yeah.
I agree.
Did you watch the Judge Dredd movie reboot?
No.
Okay. Never mind. I was gonna bring that in too, but yo, so in this fight, right, you see Mad Dog fighting against these two brothers, and I gotta say that Yo, one of the most intimidating, like just like on-screen presences is Mad Dog in the first Raid movie. This man is taking 2-on-1 with, I don't know what kind of martial arts that he's using, but he is like fucking kicking their asses. And even if they get like a lucky punch or two, like he's able to just shrug it off. And yo, it is nuts. And it's not like a choreographed like slow fight. Like they're going full speed. It
Okay,
is
okay.
brutal.
I
You see multiple knees to the chest.
ooh.
Like, are they doing Muay Thai, Mikey? Is it a Muay
It's
Thai
it's
fight?
a combination of a bunch of martial arts, but yeah, there's Muay Thai, Jujutsu going on. Yeah, just it's pretty much like a MMA street fight. The entire movie.
Yo,
Okay, okay. So
you,
this is kind of reminding me of like Ong Bak, you know.
A little
yeah,
bit,
okay.
yeah. It definitely took inspiration from Ong Bak, or some
Okay, then
inspiration.
yeah, definitely I need to watch that.
No, for sure. You have to watch. You have to watch the Raid. Uh, BGG Plays says Mike Shinoda with the hot soundtrack too. Wait, did he do the soundtrack for the Raid?
Silat was the martial fighting style. Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Never mind, I'm wrong.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
for sure. All right, Ray. Give me your number 2.
All right, if you haven't guessed already, my all-time favorite anime. I have to say, I guess I have to say anime series. It's going to be Rurouni Kenshin and Samurai X, but yeah, Rurouni Kenshin.
Okay.
One of the we talked about this. Me and you, Gio. I'm a history buff. So there's a scene in Rurouni Kenshin where they have to fight the Gatling gun. What I mean by that is this guy, this rich dude, he buys a Gatling gun and he's just taking out all these people using like old school, weapons. What I like about that fight was that was kind of like the signal between the old style and the new style. And we know this takes place during that time, the Meijing, I believe it was,
Meiji.
era. Yeah,
Yeah.
during that era when the emperor was trying to consolidate power and everything. And I think that was that fight signaled them trying to hold on to tradition.
No, for sure. I haven't seen Rurouni Kenshin.
You-
It's been a while since I
Oh,
since I watched.
okay, I was gonna say, I thought you said you'd never seen it. I was gonna be
No. I watched Rurouni Kenshin as a kid. I thought it was great. BGG
Yes.
Play says now I get the Blue Batosai name. Duh.
Yes,
Uh, but yeah, no, it's for sure. It's for sure one of those moments where even though it's not a super long fight, it's not like Goku Frieza like levels of
Yeah.
length, but it is like symbolically really dope. And just Kenshin Nomura, like that man, like he's one of the coldest motherfuckers in anime.
Oh my god, yes.
He's like the nicest guy, but you see when that switch, when he goes from being Kenshin to being
Matosai.
the Batosai, like you see him like just murk these motherfuckers. So
Yes.
it's definitely a good one. Mike, did you watch Rurouni Kenshin?
No, I haven't seen any Rurouni Kenshin material, but I know about it.
Oh man.
Okay.
I know I have a lot of anime I need to catch up on. I know.
Have you
I'm a fake weeb.
seen the live action Kenshin movies? Right.
I have not. People, I keep hearing mixed reviews, and I don't want my favorite anime to be ruined to me for a live action.
I think for sure it's not perfect, but I think the live action Kenshin movie is definitely on the top tier of live action anime movies. It's not gonna be like a Full Metal Alchemist or Death Note level like trash. Like they're actually not that bad.
Okay, I'm gonna take your word for that, and I'm actually gonna give it a try.
It's not like the best thing ever, but it definitely does get like a good majority of the stuff right, in my opinion.
I understand. When you make something live action, honestly, I think the best live action adaptation of a movie or of an anime was Death Note.
Really?
Not
Interesting.
Netflix, the original Japanese.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that one.
Oh, you definitely need to see it. So it's funny because with Death Note, for me, I actually saw the live action Japanese version first. Then I saw the anime, and then I read the manga.
Okay.
It was completely backwards, but I think they did a great job. Of course, it wasn't Netflix, so that's why. But yeah, I might give Rurouni Kenshin live action a try.
Do you
for
agree with
sure. Yeah, I
BTG
would
play,
say
Gio?
definitely worth.
Oh, sorry.
What do you say?
Uh,
It's the best live action anime
and
ever.
I might like
Um,
the live action movies. You think I would? You know my taste.
I've only seen the first one, but I think you would.
Oh yeah, I'll download those for legally.
All right, you guys are really convincing me too to watch it. I'm gonna give it a try.
There's 5 movies now, and the coolest thing is they finally did Kenshin's final arc
Oh, that's
justice.
cool. They're doing it as is it a series of movies. That's okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think you might have to get started on these, Ray.
I definitely will. Actually, you know what? I got time now. I'm stuck at home now, so
All right. So my number 2, like we're talking about anime, right? My number 2 would be. Have you seen Stephen Chow's Journey to the West?
I have not, but I know the story of Journey to the West.
All right. Oh, yo, like this movie, for sure, to me is probably the best adaptation of something like it's basically a live action anime fight to where you have these demon hunters and the main character fighting against the Monkey King, who's kind of like the final demon that they have to quell and take down, and it is over the top. It is like seriously, like I don't want to say gory, but like some of these dudes get messed up. It's just you see all these crazy powers flying around, there's swords going on, and it all culminates in like this giant Buddha just kicking the shit out of this Monkey King. It's got like crazy stuff. It's got some emotional stakes because I don't want to spoil the movie, but the ending of that movie got me a little emotional. So I love that movie.
And the original story is kind of an emotional one too. So I could see that, and I'm actually interested to look that up too.
Yeah, no, I would say that Journey to the West to me is Stephen Chow's best movie, and he's made a lot of good ones.
Mine's Kung Fu Hustle.
What else did he make? He made Kung Fu Hustle.
Mm-hmm.
Shaolin
Soccer.
Everyone loves Kung Fu Hustle.
Oh yeah, you're weird if you don't.
Shaolin Soccer. He did another one. I forgot
King
what
of
it
Comedy. I'm looking The Mermaid. CJ7.
CJ7. I like that one.
And it's also the God of Cookery and Forbidden City Cop. And From Beijing with Love.
I've never seen that one. There was a sequel to Journey to the West, but Stephen Chow didn't direct it. He just like produced it, and I heard it wasn't as good. So I don't want to watch it because I don't want to be disappointed.
I know that feeling all too well.
Right. So I would say this is one of my favorite movies ever. It's in my top somehow, my top 25. Check out an underrated classic, God of Cookery. Buzz Lightyear. I Heart Geo. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I usually get hate on this. I usually get a bunch of hate on this channel or on our show, but it's nice to see someone being nice to me for once.
You don't think it might be a little weird?
No. Well, but not really.
Suspicious.
Maybe. It is like shut the fuck up, BTG play. Oh ass.
See, that sounds more normal.
That is more normal. That is more normal. All right. Let's move on to give me your number 1.
All right, so number 1 for me, it's I will admit this is a recent biasy because
you've been rewatching.
Yes, because I finally got my girlfriend to rewatch or watch an anime and she chose Naruto, but it's Naruto Gaara versus Lee. When he dropped those weights, oh my god!
Yo. Hold on. Let me respond to the chive turkeys in the chat right now. You only get hate because you have trash taste and horrible hot taste. Get the fuck out of here. Buzz Lightyear said he's so cute though. Whoa. That's also something I'm not used to. Oh, also, man. my tastes are not trash. I have the best taste, and my name is Earl is just mad. We just have jive turkeys out here. Anyways, Gaara versus Rock Lee. Please continue.
But yes, that fight. I have to say I've watched it multiple times. Sometimes I'll get on YouTube and just watch it. It just hypes me up.
Yeah.
Especially the way as he's taking off the weights. And I think it was Tamari. She's like, "Oh, that's not gonna help him," and then boom, all this smoke comes up. Yes, it hypes me up. It gives me it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I can take on the world. Unfortunately, the way it ended was sad, but I mean, that
Yeah.
fight was amazing.
Chunin Exam is for sure the best arc in Naruto.
Agreed.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I agree, because you see also Gaara, who's like supposedly never been hit before, and Rock Lee is the first one to actually ever touch him, and you could see that psychologically that messes up Gaara. Like he's
Yes.
just like, what? Like, I'm bleeding?
What the hell is this?
It's like, what the fuck is this? Yo. Yeah, no, I think it because not only that, but I think it just shows you not only because I think they had to take, because that essentially took Rock Lee out of the show for the first Shippuden, and they had to. He was too beastly. He was just going to get stronger and stronger. And you know what? I think also, like, for Naruto, it also shows you kind of how, not only how strong Rock Lee is, but how strong Might Guy is.
Yes.
Yo, Guy, because I would think Lee versus Gaara is probably the best fight in original Naruto.
In the original one, yes.
When you get to Shippuden, like, I didn't really care for the ending. I have problems with of Naruto, but like Might Guy versus, I don't want to spoil anyone, but the guy they fight at the end,
be careful. But yeah, no, that shows how strong he is. There's one more thing too about that. Speaking of that, there's this meme I saw about Might Guy, how every person who says, "Oh, that's Might Guy," he goes, "Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?" And there was only one person that he remembered, and it was Itachi. I always thought that was funny.
That is funny. Okay. BGG Play says, never watch Boruto though if you like Rock Lee. Like everyone says, don't watch Boruto, period. Zombie Bait 90 says Hercules versus Gilgamesh and Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works is top 5. With BGG Play saying Fate has some of the best fights ever. Yeah, both these guys have been trying to get me into Fate, which I'm not gonna lie, it seems like it's a good series, but I always just like, I'm gonna fuck off and watch something else. But
there's so many things to watch, so many things to do.
There is. One of my friends was telling me that, like, people who are into anime, us weebs, we are very spoiled. We're living in this, like, heyday. Because I remember the 90s. I remember 4Kids dubs. I remember only being able to find 1 out of 10 manga volumes, and it's in a tiny section, like one little section at Walden Books. I remember all that.
Yes.
I remember not being able to watch anime unless it was Toonami, because if you wanted to get anime, there was, like, I think it was like Tokyo Pop had an anime channel. Then that you had to get that specially from Comcast, and my parents were like, "We're not paying for this."
Right. So the other one was Adult Swim on Saturdays.
Yeah, true. I mean, it wasn't.
Besides, Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z, when I actually knew what anime was, my introduction to anime was Inuyasha, and that was because one Saturday I stayed up late and watched Adult Swim, and it came on, and I was like, "Oh, hey, this is cool."
For sure. All right, let's move on to my number 1. Now, my number 1 is actually one of my favorite movies of all time. I could even argue that this is probably one of the best trilogies of all time.
Okay.
But we go back to the original, and it's the club scene from John Wick.
Yes.
Where he is just hunting these dudes down in this nightclub. And he is, taking off all these cronies, and they're all sending all these guys after him. And he is one of my favorite parts of this fight, the John Wick fight, is there's a dude literally in a bathtub that he's hunting him down. And he just pretty much shoots the guy twice in the head and then once in the chest, and you just see him fall. It's like, damn, did he have to shoot him down like 3 times? Yo, that
That was the bigger dude, right?
Yeah.
I think that was necessary.
And he was going in like from the jump, right? The dude in the bathroom that he's just mercilessly just drowning him. He proceeds to like just beat the shit.
Yes.
It's so viscerally like satisfying because like, oh, like why this? Like you killed my dog, and I get it because if someone
Yes.
were to kill my dog, I would feel the same way. Like
Agreed.
I would
And
hunt these motherfuckers down,
I
and I
just
would
wish I
make
had
them
skills like
die
that
like
to make him.
painfully.
Yeah. That is
Yeah.
definitely I can agree with you. The whole John Wick series, like you said, the trilogy is amazing. That scene though, yes, it was I I'll go a little bit before that and say the one that I like the part that I liked the most was when he was standing around the corner waiting for the dude to come around and they is basement clear. He says clear, and then as soon as he rounds the corner, boom, punch him, stab him, cover his
Yeah.
mouth so he can't say anything. And yeah, oh my god. Yeah, I agree with you.
And even like you see the dude in the bathing suit running, and John Wick is just like lining up the shots, and you see all the glass breaking. Because if it wasn't for that glass, he would have been on target every single time.
Every single shot, yes.
Yes, and he's just out there. These dudes are coming at him with guns, and it's just like this kind of gun fu, like just high action in this club scene where there's just innocent people, and he's like just hunting this guy down. I absolutely love this scene, and it's my favorite fight. It's from one of my favorite movies, from one of my favorite trilogies, and honestly, it's just so good.
Yes.
It's just so good. I love John Wick. Buzz Kilton Year says Team Pinky. That's right. Team Pinky. That's my dog. That is my dog, the best dog in the world, even though she can be a little shit, but I love her. My name is Earl says Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, bar fight is easily top. That's another one. That's another series that I had consideration for mine. But there was something else that I thought of that I forgot to put on my not forgot, but like it just barely didn't make my list, and I forgot what it was. But definitely happy with my choices.
I am too, and I like your choice too. I will say John Wick on point, yes. Only because I didn't see your number 2 or 3. I would say I have to put Daredevil above those, but it's only because I hadn't seen those. But I love that Daredevil scene also.
Yo, yeah, you got it, man. You got it. If you're not doing anything, man, I'm telling you, watch The Raid. You will not be disappointed. There's 2 movies. Yeah, The Raid. That movie, I have a feeling you'll really like it because it's amazing. Definitely one of my favorite action flicks ever. All right, now we move on to the last part of the show, which is our 1v1 debate, where we discuss we have a question where me and our Mikey or our guest host, today being Ray, we take different sides and we essentially discuss and debate and disagree on it is. So Mikey, if you want to hit us with the debate question of today, holla at us.
All right. So, what do you guys think? Are there too many superhero movies these days?
All right, I'm gonna let you go first, Ray.
There are not too many superhero movies. I think that we need more. I really do.
Really? Why so?
I think that we need competition. I think Marvel's dominating everything. You got DC trying, but DC is not measuring up. I believe that we need more superhero movies that compete with Marvel.
Okay. But couldn't you say that Marvel is competing with itself? Like, don't you feel like there's an oversaturation to where now we know what the Marvel formula is and it's getting stale?
You believe it's getting stale?
I mean, as personally, like, okay, so let's say personally, and also, let's talk about my personal view, but also the view of like the majority of people. Right. Okay. Personally, do I think it's getting stale? A little bit, because even though they are still enjoyable, like something like Black Widow that came out last year, it was an okay movie, but it definitely didn't have the bite that it should have, because we know kind of, okay, it's going to be this, the villain is going to be and the villains are always kind of like not the best in Marvel movies. That's definitely their Achilles heel. But this is the villain. There's going to be some twists. There's going to be some jokes along the way, and it's going to be that. Shang-Chi, I thought it was very well done. It was I think it was, to me, out of all the Marvel movies that came out last year. Oh, okay, not all of them. There was 4 last year. There was 4 Marvel movies last year. I forgot that there was 4. Okay, it was probably the second best. Shang-Chi, the second best. I think for me, the best one out of all the Marvel movies that came out last year was Spider-Man, right? But the thing about Spider-Man is that it definitely doesn't have your typical Marvel plot structure, because it starts to go there, but it has kind of the added boost of being how do I say this without spoiling it for anybody? Definitely having some nostalgia factors. Actually, this isn't a spoiler because it's in the trailer. But you have Alfred Molina coming back as Doc Ock. You have Jamie Foxx as Electro. You have Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin. So you do get those 3 villains, and that is the added nostalgia. So they would have had to change up the plot that way. But everything else, Eternals kind of fell by the wayside. Black Widow was kind of okay. Those 2 were kind of mid, right? But Shang-Chi was definitely the best one. BTG Play says, unpopular opinion, multiverse is going to ruin the Marvel universe. It's cool now, but it's going to get oversaturated. Man, apparently Mikey agrees. But yeah, it's definitely for sure something that we are getting way too much on. Like, at this point, I think Marvel is even competing with itself.
So my question to you, especially with Black Widow, how much of that is it following the formula and we just know what's going to happen and that's why we're just like about it, or was it actually an movie?
I would say on both counts. It was like, I wouldn't say it's a bad movie, but I think, to me personally, the worst reaction you can get is indifference. Because if something's like really, really bad and people like are still talking about it, that was horrible. Like, to me, that's how the Venom movies are getting popular, because they're so bad, but people somehow like them. It's like super try-hardy.
I'm people.
God damn it, Ray! Don't support this.
But see, okay, and that's where I'm coming from. Black Widow, in my opinion, was a lot of those movies are but I mean, what's competing with them? And like you said, there's competing with itself. I will say this. Yes, Marvel needs to put out a little less, but I think we need more superhero movies that compete with Marvel. And I don't mean just throw anything out there. I mean, come on, like, I know a lot of people like Batman, and a lot of people like Superman. In my opinion, they were nowhere near any of the Marvel movies. They just weren't good enough to compete. And do you disagree with that?
I mean, I don't disagree with that. I mean, we'll see how this new Batman flick plays out, because it looks like it's going to be top tier. But even so, like, you have the Marvel movies coming out, you have DC, you have all these kind of random indie studios that are putting out superhero movies. Like, remember the Kick-Ass series? Like, at first it was cool, but when Kick-Ass 2 came out, like, everyone was kind of over it. No one, like, number 2, no one really cared about that movie. Then you have even like these indie superhero movies, like Super with Rainn Wilson. Like, it was a good movie, but no one really cared, because it's like, it wasn't a Marvel thing. No one cared. We were all just tired of superheroes. BGG Play says, where's the Image Comics cinematic universe? Zombie Bait says, Zack Snyder is below mid as a director. I mean, I feel a lot of people don't disagree with you. Actually, you know what, though? Like, for being like someone that people don't feel is a great director, like, people were clamoring for the Snyder cut.
Yeah.
And that's probably it, where when you see people who are like saying like, no, we love these movies, we want more of them. To be honest, I think that's just the majority of the online fans. Like, the average person is probably like, oh, I didn't even know this was a thing. So, yeah.
So You think that has more to do with the way they market it as opposed to, you know, so it just seems like people might want this. Let's just slap something together real quick. And
I mean, I think that's when you know you jumped the shark, when the big corporations are saying like we can make a quick buck on this. Like that's when you know we're kind of at that point.
so would you say there's too many superhero movies where they're doing that as opposed to we need more superhero movies that are actually good?
Well, the problem with that is like I think yes, there are too many superhero movies that are phoning it in. But even if it's like too many superhero movies that are, actually good, right? As far as that is that to me it's a moot point, because I think even if you have these 10 out of 10 banger movies, then it gets to be overwhelming, because then you also have, this isn't we're just talking about movies here, but
Yeah.
there's so much superhero content in general out there, between video games and TV shows and comic books and all that, to where it becomes a little bit like, oh, okay, there's so much going on, but if I don't watch this, then I won't get what this means, or I won't understand fully this. And there's just so much going on that the majority of the public will probably get confused. BGG Play says, to be honest, I think that's why Invincible did so well. Even though it was animated, it was a breath of fresh air from the Marvel and DC stuff. That's true. Invincible was something that was different from it. But I think also, one thing that for sure I think is helping a little bit, and I will concede this point to you, is that we no longer have Fox making all these X-Men movies.
Yes. Yes, that was horrible. Uh, just speaking of that, I was talking about the original Deadpool. That was horrible. What they did, what was that, X-Men Origin, I believe?
Yeah.
That was horrible. And in my opinion, I think that we need to stop having these people make movies that are just horrible like that. They're just trying to capitalize on getting quick bucks. I think that we need movies that are good quality and that can compete.
1v1 show. Oh, Mikey said I still need to watch The Boys and Invincible, but superhero fatigue. Yeah, same. Because I found that, because I watched the first episode of Invincible and I thought it was good, but I didn't finish the rest of the series. Not because I didn't think it was good, but I'm just like, I'm kind of tired of superheroes. Same thing with The Boys. Like I watched season 1. I loved it. I binged that whole thing. Season 2, I haven't gotten around to it, but everyone tells me it's good. It's just one of those things where it's like, excuse me. They got me. But it's just one of those things where it's just like, I'm over it. I'd rather watch something else. I want to hear new stories. I want to hear another things. Because even if they do switch up the formula, we're getting kind of the same tropes over and over and over again. Even anime, like My Hero Academia, like I love that show.
I'm sorry.
Then the ending, the last couple of arcs, to me, I have hated it. So maybe that's me getting that superhero fatigue.
I can give you that point. There's a lot to cipher through. I do like your point about, if I miss this movie or if I miss this part of this series, I'm going to be lost. And I could agree with you. And I do think that we're tying everything together, which is cool. But when you have so much content, you miss one little thing, you're completely lost. I agree with you on that one.
Yeah. No, I had when you were talking about the Joker fight with Batman, I pulled it up.
Yeah.
Just to kind of jog my memory. And I left the video up, and so you know how YouTube auto plays.
Yeah.
And it's pulling up the scene from when Harvey Dent was in the hospital as Two-Face, and you see the Joker coming as the nurse.
Yeah.
And it's like, you didn't realize it was a nurse till she took off the mask.
Right. All that makeup and stuff. No, you look like a normal nurse.
He's like, ah!
Wait a minute, it's the Joker.
Oh my God! Oh God. Now we got him now. But yeah, no, the like I said, I love superhero things. I collect comics. I have a bunch of figures. I have a bunch of I watched all the movies. But even now for me it's just kind of like, I have Marvel, I have DC, and now you're giving me The Boys, you're giving me Invincible, you're giving me this, you're giving me that, and I'm just like, it's so much content that I would need to watch something else. But I think only really see a change if it changes in the box office.
Of course.
If audiences stop watching all these movies, then that's when we'll see. Uh, I'm still gonna watch all of it though, but sometimes it feels like homework. I agree. I
But
agree.
yeah,
And plus
no,
the streaming now, like where we have all of these like streaming like shows, and even the I don't even touch the DC shows unless it's animated. Like I don't touch any of the Flash, and I don't touch any of Arrow
and
or any of all like the Arrowverse stuff. Like it's not
yeah,
for me.
yeah. I tried each one of those. I tried one episode, maybe two on a few of them, and it was just like,
Yeah.
eh.
They're very like all the CW stuff, and then I've heard Doom Patrol is good. I've heard Titans is good, but I just haven't gotten into them. BGG Play says movies are getting pumped out like the comics. I think that's the goal. Yeah, I mean the goal for all these like corporations is always money, right?
Exactly.
The supply and demand. If people are demanding it, that someone's going to supply, and that's just kind of the if, ends, and buts about it. But we'll see if the audiences get tired of it.
Right, right.
Yeah, because I can already tell that we kind of reached the nexus point to where with Endgame, right? Like where do we go from here? Like we told a whole story, and yeah, you can say that there's more, but do you really? Is there any story really after Endgame that has been like, yo, like this was something that was necessary to watch?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it starts with Spider-Man, and I don't mean this as an insult. It's kind of towards me too. I don't think everything after this is meant for us.
Okay, yeah, okay, good point.
I think this is meant for the new generation. I think this is going to be meant for. I'll give you a great example about that. This. I guess you kind of call this a superhero movie, but Space Jam 2.
Yeah.
Horrible, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't meant for us. You can look at. You can just look at all the kids. They loved that movie, but that movie was horrible. My first thought was, oh, this is nothing like Space Jam. Space Jam is so much better. But have you gone back and watched Space Jam as an adult?
Not in a while.
If you go back and watch Space Jam as an adult, it's not the same as when we watched it as a kid. I mean, like it's actually horrible, to be honest. I'm sorry if I insulted you on that one, but I think it was horrible. When I was a kid, I thought it was amazing. But I really do think that they're continuing this superhero thing because one, it's easy. But two, I do think we need more. I think we need more competition. Not for us, for the new generation, unfortunately. But
I think in that sense, you can kind of also compare it to Pokemon, to how like the newer games, or not for us, they were for for the younger generation, for kids. Like, oh, we love Pokemon, and now the kids get to play their own Pokemon, and we're like, why is this not good? And they're like, because it's for the children.
agreed. I mean, I'm gonna still say it. I'm gonna say like this isn't good at all. This isn't like how
we're always gonna complain.
But yeah.
For sure. I think we'll end on that note, on that point. I really got nothing to rebuttal that one. All right. Anyways, Mike, you wanna close this out?
Yeah, hold on. Oh, whoops. All right, guys. So that was our show for today. Huge thank you to everyone who participated in the chat, especially the ones who are having their own 1v1 show with other chatters. And
they were having their own 1v1.
And also a huge thank you to Blue Batasai, aka Ray, for coming in as a guest host. And be sure to follow him on Twitch. And in any other socials, do you have any, Ray?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. Same thing, blue batosai or blue underscore batosai. There's no content on that. I'm going to use it as a, hey, I'm live kind of thing.
Okay.
Um, you can also follow me on Instagram, r.a.m photo. Um, it's mainly just me doing stupid things like working out, cooking. Oh yeah, and photography. I'm kind of into photography. Super amateur though, but yeah.
And
My,
what?
my name is Earl. So shout out to Mikey's view from his window.
Thank you. And if you guys liked what you saw today, please give us a follow on our socials, especially Blue Battlesize and the 1v1 shows. And yeah, and if you want to support us financially, we also have a Patreon where $3 you can have your name at the end of the show in the roll credit, which you'll see in a minute. And for $5, you can submit any topic. So anything you want, as long as it's appropriate. And for $10, you'll be a sponsor of the show, and we'll plug your socials, product, business page, whatever, as long as it's appropriate, obviously. But so that's it for today. I'm Hyphy Soul, aka Mikey, along with
Your boy, Geo Huey Flow.
and
Blue batosai.
and then that is it for today. Thank you guys, and if you want more of the 1v1 show, stay tuned for maybe 5 minutes while we just get ourselves situated to snacks and drinks, and we'll just be having a random conversation in a little bit. So yeah, so if you want more of the show, stay tuned. If not, we'll see you guys next Saturday, as always, at 11 a.m. PST. So thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Later.
Show. Dang it! I always forget to do that. I had no sound going on through OBS. Okay, well, everything I just said, no one heard. But Geo is still MIA, and I think we have new people here in the chat. So I'm going to show our new, well, not our new skit. We premiered it on the season premiere of the 1v1 show for our second season. And yeah, so pretend we're starting the show, and this is how it all fits in. And here we go. Finally. Oh man, yeah, take out the garbage.
5 minutes, and we each discuss 5 stories that we feel is interesting enough to talk about. We take a topic.
I got time.
If we feel or if we feel like another.
What the? Gio, how are you here? Who's doing the show right now?
Huh?
Garbage day!
Wait, no! I'm gonna get him back.
Liar! You brought him here to kill me!
Let him go, Gio. Let him go.
You broke up the band!
They have done that themselves.
You will buy a Nintendo Switch!
You buying the Switch Pro and letting me borrow your first Switch was a mistake. You let your fanboyism of Nintendo cloud your judgment, and now you have become the thing you have sworn to destroy. A hipster.
Do not lecture me, ho. I see through the lies of the normies. I've watched Bunny Girl Senpai, and I've seen every single episode of One Piece. I will make everyone in the 1v1 army watch every single episode.
The 1v1 army? That doesn't even make sense. And you said you would watch Breaking Bad, not bash it.
Don't make me destroy you.
I'm just trying to show you the best show ever.
I already know that it's not. Because it's not anime. And if you're not gonna watch One Piece, that makes you my enemy.
Only a weeb deals in absolutes. I will do what I must.
You will try.
So that was always good.
Yeah.
And also, I didn't say that you also can type on the 1v1 show name. FYI. In case you thought that was me.
Get out of here. Fuck out of here. Although, fuck you, BTG play. You gotta give me like $200 a month for me to admit that. $200 a month and I'll admit it. Until then, get out of here. So, yeah, as you know, Mikey, and I'm not sure, Ray, if I ever showed you these, but I collect Nendroids. And
Oh yeah.
so
haven't opened mine.
I almost made a mistake because I was looking for a Nezuko Nendroid, Nezuko from Demon Slayer, and I was looking on Mercari, and I almost bought one for like $70 because they're about, I want to say like they're like 50 to 60 like normally, so $70. I was like, all right, that's not much of a big overpay.
I think I get it.
And then I ended up looking on my email, realizing, oh, I've already bought this Nendroid. It's just like it's on its way from Japan, so it takes like 4 months. I hella forgot about it.
Oh my god! So you almost bought another one.
I know.
How many Nendroids do you have?
Well, I don't have them in my room right now. I'm having them displayed downstairs, but I think about 13 or 14.
Damn.
I will say I kind of knew about it because you do a little flex about it on the gram. So
it's true.
I've seen it. I
do flex.
I do flex the Nendroids.
Let's do the math on this. Hold on. So, let's say average Nendroid, they're about $50-$60. Well, let's say it's $60 a pop times 12. I have spent $720 on my Nendroids.
That's almost 1,000. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's not even counting like these other figures back here.
Man. I do have a question for you, Gio, because I am so hoping that I get to text you this on Monday after you make your kids hate you.
Yeah.
What are you planning to do? Are you planning to like go home, get in the shower in the corner and cry, or what?
Like if the Niners lose, honestly, I'll be in a bad mood if the Niners win. But I think I kind of said this earlier. I feel like the Niners are playing with house money right now. The fact that they've gotten this far, to me, is surprising because I think the team is Super Bowl ready, except for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay, I can see that. I still am having faith in my team, LA everything, because there's another LA team that I can't have faith in because they made that stupid mistake of getting an expensive player. But the Rams are that's all I have right now. So
I think the Rams, for sure, have it. I mean, they have a good chance to win. It's just funny to me that the Rams could have put the Niners away. Like the Rams could, if the Niners didn't make playoffs, I think the Packers would have made it. I think they would have beat the Cowboys, and they would be the ones playing. Yo, those are sick.
Okay.
These are my two Nendroids.
Hey.
But yeah. So what are you guys plans for playoff games
tomorrow? Oh, me, Lacrosse, Jackson. We're gonna go to that Mexican restaurant and eat menudo.
Yeah.
Cool. So, you want to come? Y'all want to come?
Maybe.
I'm kind of I think I got a quarantine. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, shit.
I kind of want to break it because I mean I tested. I'm negative, but I don't know. Yeah. You know, sometimes it takes a while for it to pop up.
Yeah. True. I ended up testing when I went to SAC Anime. I tested the day I came back, or the day after, and then 5 days later it came out negative. So I was cool.
You didn't get your test results till 5 days later?
No. I did 2 tests.
Oh, you did it again 5 days later. Okay.
You gotta wait. My boss had symptoms like Monday came negative, and then on Friday popped positive.
Yeah.
It takes a while for this stuff to show up sometimes.
Yes, sir. But yeah, I'm excited for the game. I'm excited for tomorrow. It's gonna be a fun time. I'm gonna have like 3 bowls of menudo, maybe some tacos. I'm gonna grub good. We're gonna eat good, and then yeah, man. As far as today though, I got nothing else because I get paid monthly, and usually my money comes in the last day of the month, which it would be Monday. But payroll doesn't work on the weekends. So I was like, shit, I'm gonna have no money for the weekend. So I didn't plan to do anything. I was just like, I'm gonna stay home and just play some video games and do nothing. And I might do that. But like I got paid early yesterday, so I was like,
Ooh, that means they were telling you something. They're like, yeah, you need to go out, give
do
yourself
so.
some good food before your heart gets broken.
Nah, fuck you. We'll see, man. Like I said, I don't have faith in Jimmy. I'm honestly like I'm more the thing I want the least. Like even if the Rams beat the Niners, like if they play the Chiefs, I would want them to win because I hate Patrick Mahomes with a passion.
Yeah, I want that revenge game.
I think that'd be the first time I ever heard you say anything positive about LA.
Very true. No, I like LA. I mean, I went out there for a concert in November, and it was cool. Like, I just don't like LA sports teams. That's about it. Everything else LA is cool with me.
I think that's what I mean. Like anything LA sports related.
Very true. Yeah, no, I went out there. I went to the Novo Theater out in LA, and that whole like kind of block in downtown where Staples is, like
crypto.com.
Oh yeah, crypto.com.
Yeah,
where crypto is. Where crypto is, that is pretty cool. Like they have a lot of stuff. They have a restaurant out there called Fixins, which they have one in Sacramento, which I always thought was like a local restaurant, but no, it's a chain now because they have one right there in the stadium. But
is it good?
It's pretty good. The only thing I would not recommend is the gumbo. Okay. Not because it's not good. I mean, it is good, but they skimp you on the shrimp.
Oh,
and it's expensive. It is expensive.
I'm kind of feel like everything at this point is expensive. So.
Now, if you want good soul food in Sacramento, like this is like top tier soul food. Let me see if I can find it. It's called Tori's Place. It's on Grand Avenue in Sac. I hope they're still open. But this place, it's like literally looks like a shack, but it is so good.
Those are usually the best, the hole in walls like that.
Yeah.
Taco trucks and yeah.
Are they open, man? And next time I go to Sac, I gotta go to Tori's because.
You weren't kidding. It really is a shack.
I told you, like it's a shack. Oh man, but yeah, it's in the hood too. It's like right in front of Grant High School, like right in DPH. Yeah. So but it's good. It's good. Highly recommend.
I'm just gonna say this out. You can kind of tell it's in the hood by the bars on the window.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That sounds like my kind of place, though.
Yeah, that place is bomb. Highly recommended. The fried chicken there is good. The gumbo is good. And when you get the gumbo, they give you a piece of cornbread with it. Fantastic cornbread.
Nice.
Yeah, I never had gumbo or menudo.
Really? Yeah. Wow. So good.
Very uncultured.
Yeah, do you like seafood?
I like shrimp and sushi, baked sushi. That's about it. I don't like eating fish.
Salmon?
What was that?
You don't like salmon?
Oh yeah, baked salmon. Yeah. But the Lion King roll is my favorite sushi roll. I can eat that for the rest of my life. As long as the fish are still there.
It's like a stew with a bunch of that has pieces of fish, shrimp, spicy sausage with some carrots, celery, and a bunch of spices in there. It's really good.
This is Menudo.
What?
Wait, which one was that one?
Gumbo.
Oh, okay. What's Menudo?
Menudo is a more of a thinner broth with it has cow hoof, it has tripe, and it has what else is in there? Like you put it's kind of like pozole, but like not
Where's
really.
that?
There's no hominy. You never had pozole either?
No.
So I'm gonna be honest. Gee, I don't like menudo.
What? I love
I
menudo.
believe it's an acquired taste.
It is. It
Seems
really
like
is.
it.
You also have to get over the smell too.
Really? I never had a problem with the smell, but I grew up eating menudo.
Yeah, for me the smell always stops me from enjoying it.
What's
What
it smell
about
like?
pozole?
Oh well.
Ah, it's kind of hard to explain. It's not like it's like its own thing. It's
Okay.
it's not like something else. Yeah.
What about pozole? How do you feel about that?
So like, I'm trying to remember. I know I've had this because I'm from down south and everything.
Wait, how do you spell that?
Usually, it's either red or green broth. It has the hominy in it. Usually, like either chicken or pork.
Okay, yeah. No, I do like that one, especially when you got chicken in it.
The green pozole with the chicken is that's
good.
fire. It's something that because I usually go to my best friend's house for not Halloween, for Thanksgiving, and his mom usually makes pozole for Thanksgiving. So I always get me like 2 or 3 bowls because that is fire.
I will say the one of the worst things about moving up here
Yeah.
is the Mexican food is lacking.
Oh, you have to. Okay, so it gets worse too the further you go up north.
Yes.
Because I'm almost convinced that there is no good Okay, I was almost convinced there was no good Mexican food in Sacramento because I lived out there for 3 years, and like I talked to one of my homies he's from Sacramento. He's like, "Nah, dude, you're going to all these places like in downtown and midtown where it's all right, it's not great. Like you need to go to South Sac, you need to go to the hood." And that's where you'll find the good Mexican food. It's like, all right, you right. Like, you right. I mean, because, like, another thing, too, is, like, different. There's a difference between, like, Mexican food from, like, a actual, like, taqueria Mexican place and then Mexican food from, like, one of those, like, drive-through, like, Baldo's, Alberto's type spots. I mean, they're not bad. They're good. But there is a difference. You feel me?
Yeah, and one of the biggest differences is seasoning.
Yeah.
So speaking of that with Mexican food, there's this place me and my girl likes to go to. It's in San Glen, little past Glen. I forget the exact city. We were out there in Oakland just hanging out, and we decided to go to this place called The Mexican. That's literally the name, is The Mexican. Bomb food. They got a wall tequila. It's really good. We were surprised. We went there as a joke. Turns out that we love the place now.
Is it San Leandro?
Yes. It's called the
Y'all
Mexican.
making me hungry.
I know. I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna eat after this.
I have chicken adobo in the kitchen.
Oh, nice.
Mm.
It's always good. Chicken adobo. What do I want to eat? We got a new ramen. We got a ramen spot in Fairfield, Mikey. Like a kind of legit one.
Where?
It's over by Rayleigh's by Walmart. In front of the Rayleigh's in front of Texas Roadhouse. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a ramen sushi spot.
What's the name of it?
It's called Toto's.
Like TODO?
TOTTO.
Oh, TOTTO. Okay.
Toto's.
Okay, all right, I see it.
BTT places. What?
I've had the ramen there. They're pretty good.
Oh, we should. I'm down to go there one time.
Let's do it. Let's get the squad out there one time. BTG Play says we got a place here called Mexican Food Number 2. I don't know if there's a Mexican Food Number 1. I'm a little too afraid to ask.
What happened to Mexican? You don't want to know.
You don't want it. Yo, so my name is Earl. I don't know if he's still in the chat. But he always tells me that his favorite spot to eat Indian food is there's this place in Sacramento where it literally just says tasty Indian food. That's the name of the place.
Nice.
Do you have the show audio coming through your computer? Because I hear an echo.
Me or Ray?
No, you. I think.
I don't.
Or it's like a squeaking, or maybe it's just me. Hmm.
I hear the squeaking. I don't think is me.
That place
No,
is
I
bomb.
see. I hear the echo.
Well, yeah. It's like a slight echo. Well, it's very low echo, but there's a squeaking going on. But whatever. It's hidden behind a gas station, though. The place is bomb.
No. I want some Indian food too. I don't. Do we have good Indian food in Fairfield?
I'm not really a fan of Indian food. After working a bunch of like banquet events, and then just tried some. It's like it's not for me.
I fucks with the Indian food. Indian food, Mexican food, whatever it is, I'll try it.
I put it up
Have
there
you
with
had
seafood,
Indian,
fish.
have you had Indian pizza?
No, your buddy Raf, or our mutual buddy Raf, has been telling me to go to the Tasty Indian Pizza for like 2 years now. He's like, you should go there.
Yeah, it's right by Kinder's. It's pretty good. They got the buttered chicken pizza, like
Yeah, what's on? Like, what are the types of Indian pizzas? Like, so you said buttered.
There's buttered chicken pizza, chicken tandoori, which is more of a spicier one.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of others, but it's usually just kind of the meats that they use and they put it on pizza.
Okay.
So that's the only difference, is just a different type of meat, or do they do different breads? And
I think the breads are the same, but I gotta say maybe some of the spices they use in the sauce are different too.
Okay. Yeah,
Like,
yesterday when I was trying to when I had to call off from work, I was like, oh man, now I can get some pizza. It was 10:50 and everything was closing at 11. So we're talking about pizza. I think that's what I'm gonna have today is pizza.
Yeah, that's a COVID thing, because
the COVID hours.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting about those.
Yeah, because like when I went to SAC, I stayed at my friend's house for SAC Anime, and we were trying to buy a pizza at like 11. He was like, "Yeah, it's a Saturday. Most places delivered till 1 a.m." Because he used to work at a Domino's too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And then he was like, "No, everywhere is closed, and the only places that are available, you have to go pick it up." But the Domino's that was in our area didn't allow us to do that, so it's just a whole thing.
Mhm.
You know what's even worse? Even like McDonald's isn't 24 hours anymore.
Yep.
That's crazy. I never thought McDonald's wouldn't be 24 hours.
Same with Jack in the Box.
I think there's one in Fairfield that's 24 hours.
There used to be 3 in my city, but now they all close at I think it's 11 too. Yeah, like everything's 11 now.
Yep. Yeah, I was trying to get a bacon ultimate cheeseburger because I haven't had a burger in like a month, and I was craving a burger, and I was like, and Jack in the Box is a 5-minute drive from me, and then I left at 10:55, and I was like, oh, okay, it's like probably close at 12 because it's Jack in the Box, and then I show up and all the lights are turned off. I'm like, dude, and then I didn't have a burger, and I was really sad.
I guess that's one positive thing about COVID is it's making us make better life choices.
Yeah, like
It's true.
yeah.
But I don't want to make good life choices.
Exactly. That's how I feel about everything. Like, damn, I want to be trash. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what I want. I kind of want to go get ramen again. Like, now that this place is open, I feel like I'm just gonna go there at least like once a week, at the very least.
Is it really that
Start
good?
knowing me. Not
They're
that
gonna review radio.
it's not amazing. It's good. It's not great.
Mhm.
But the thing is, it's the closest thing to us.
Mm.
Like if you want great ramen, that's good. That's cheap. Sacramento, or even Davis has a good ramen spot now.
Yeah.
But
Another mutual.
it's like
Wait, what? Go on, finish.
Okay, that's a bit of a drive.
Oh yeah, like another mutual friend of ours, Three Shots at Kettle One, who's been in chat every once in a while. He said he's not really a fan of ramen. Because I was like, oh, you have to try that one place, or what is it called? Oh, it had Red Bull place.
Red
'Cause
Bull.
it has a Red Bull and the Black Bull. That was the flavors for ramen.
Oh, Red Bull, not Red. I thought he said Red Bull.
Hey, I
Red
thought you were
Bull.
talking about the energy drink.
It's Ryujin in Sacramento.
Yeah, and I told him to go there, and he's like, a bunch. Every ramen place I've been to was mid and not that great, but pho is good everywhere. What's your take on that?
There's a place in
I got
Richmond.
this weird thing. I love ramen, but I don't like pho.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I love pho. Like there's a place in Richmond where it's the best pho I've had. It's bomb. And they also have this thing called beef carpaccio, which is like very thinly sliced like raw beef, but it's really good.
I might
Oof.
give it another try. It's been years. I don't know. I had homemade pho too, so
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, homemade pho. Damn. Now I'm for sure getting hungry. Maybe I'll get pho. Maybe.
So yeah, it was a funny story about that. So I forget what year it was, but it was whatever year that was when Dwight Howard won the dunk contest,
That was
because
like
that's when we were
a
over
while
at a
ago.
friend's house. Yeah, I was in
Yeah.
high school still. So we were at my friend's house. We were watching that. He's Vietnamese, and his dad comes in and asks us if we want pho. And we're like, oh yeah, sure. So then he leaves, and then he yells something in Vietnamese. Our friend gets up and leaves, and he's gone for like a while. And he comes back with pho, and then we're like, "Where'd you go?" My dad maybe make you guys pho. His dad told him to go make us pho.
Damn.
So
We thought when he asked us, we thought he was gonna make it for us and everything. Nope, he made him. So he kind of missed most of the All-Star game.
dang.
Rip. But yeah, I'm still weighing my options on food right now.
Yeah.
On something. I'm like a big soup person, you know. Ramen, menudo, pozole, broccoli cheddar soup, lobster bisque, chicken noodle. Like, why are there like no restaurants that are just like soup?
I mean, all of them have like the soup of the day. thing
What
going
is
on.
there?
Well, like most places have like a soup of the day, don't they?
Yeah, but I want a restaurant that's just
It's
soup.
nothing but soup.
Like, okay, like you know what I miss? I miss Fresh Choice.
Right.
Fresh Choice is like, it was like you walk in as a salad bar, right? Obviously, I mean, maybe now, because I actually enjoy eating salad now. But when I was a kid, I just skip right through it. And I go right to the soup, the pizza. I'd go to the dessert. It was just great. I love Fresh Choice.
All right, gentlemen, I think it's time for me to go.
All right, I guess we can just end it there. Like, that was the post show,
Yeah.
all about food.
It was a
All about
food
food.
show. Ray's
got-
leaving because he's hungry.
Yes.
And I'm a little hungry as well. So like I'm
But
okay with
you guys,
ending it.
appreciate you guys having me here. I
For sure.
really enjoyed this a lot. Thank you guys.
Yeah, we would like. I would like you to come back on if you would like. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
I would love to, and I'll do a better job next time too.
I think you did a better job than me.
It's all good, man. Good.
But,
You did good.
But yeah, so all right, to close out the show, I'm Hype Soul, aka Mikey. I have my own Twitch channel. You can follow me there, and then Gio.
Your boy Geo Huey Flow. That's on all of my socials. Just my Instagram and my Twitch, but I'm not gonna start streaming until I get a laptop, which I don't know.
Laptop.
See.
Get a desktop.
Not laptop, desktop. That's what I meant
And
to
you want
say.
to stream on a laptop?
And you might as well get an RTX 3080 Ti.
Ah,
True. All right, and Blue Bad Side, where can we
And
find you?
And Blue Batosai, you can just find me on Twitch, Blue Batosai, the same way it's spelled right there. And everything else will be on that. You can just look there.
All right. And that's it for today. And we will see you guys, as usual, on Saturdays at 11 a.m. PST. And we'll see you guys next time. And thank you guys for watching. So until then, see you guys later. Peace.
Later.
Can't wait for more trash taste from Gio. Alright then, guys.